Hey everybody, it's Randy Canaro with Souder Station Farm. So we are hopefully planning on moving the... Oh, I guess I can't use that hand, can I? Hoping to move the chicken coop for the laying hens to the farm today. I don't know how well that's going to work out. The plan, as of right now, is to take the snowmobile trailer. We've got a notch cut out of here so we can actually tilt the whole snowmobile trailer, wrap a strap around here that'll go through, and then down this back side I can just hook onto the trailer, winch it up. I'll probably go ahead and move these plastic skins onto the tracks where the 6x6 hemlock skids are. That way it just slides up a little bit easier. But I'm actually not sure if the trailer is going to be able to maintain. I'm not sure if the trailer is going to be able to maintain the weight. I think it might be a little bit too much for it. So, Rob's tied up today doing a bunch of things, so I'm going to go over there to the old farm and jack up the chicken coop and throw a bunch of logs under the skids to act as rollers, so there'll be that much less friction when I'm coming along in it, and just kind of see how it goes. Worst case, we'll be looking at trying to get a car trailer. I don't know anybody offhand that has one that I can think of. U-Haul has them for $50, so I just got to check the measurements, skid to skid. And make sure that it will fit on the platform. But typically those are a double axle trailer designed for hauling heavy things like vehicles. So for $50, that may be the way to go. Plus the deck height sits lower, so it may actually be, and they have loading ramps, so it may be easier, especially when the chicken coop is jacked up, and if I put 8, 9, 12-inch logs underneath it, and it sits, it might just be rolling straight across right onto that deck. What I'm worried about with this snowmobile trailer is that when that deck comes up, the angle is so steep that we're essentially going to be pulling the coop to it and then up, and a lot of weight's going to be on that backside dragging, plus that incline eventually until I can get up to the center point, and then it can finally topple out. I think there's going to be a lot of forces there working against us because it's such a heavy coop. A little overbuilt, but what are you going to do? So anyway, that's the plan for this morning. I'm going to go over to the old place, see if we can get it loaded up, and go from there. So I'll update you guys later. Thanks. All right, guys. So here's where we're at. So I ended up just jacking up the side of each one of these sides of the skids, throwing a bunch of logs underneath there, get them up off the ground a little bit, because as soon as I start to bring it up on this angle, you can see that pitch that I was talking about. Look how obnoxiously steep that is. All right, that's ridiculous. So I think we'll be good till we get about to the halfway point at this end here. At a certain point, it's just going to be pulling up, and it's just going to be a lot of torque on it. There should not be much resistance from the back end, except for where it drags a little bit. So I don't know quite how that's going to turn out. I think it's going to be a little tight right there. Actually, what I may do, we'll see. If it looks like it's going to be crazy, crazy tight, what I may do is just pop off these center sections of plastic and jack the backside up temporarily, throw the plastic underneath there, and then have at least a little more of a slipperier skid that can go onto. This decking is horrible. There is aluminum cross members going across the whole thing. That's what's really supporting the load once this comes up on here. These plastic little things were on the outside. I just took them off, put them here so they line up with our skid. So we can just hook up our ratchet strap, come along, jack her up on here, and so long as the tires hold up, and it fits on there, I'm probably have to take my ladders off. But oh well. We'll see how it goes. We'll get up and see how it feels as we start jacking it. Luckily with the come along, we can just do a little bit to a time, see how it gauges. Fortunately, Rob couldn't be out today to assist. We'll just take it slow. If it looks like the trailer's not going to work, we'll just ditch it, move on, go see about renting a regular trailer, a car trailer or something, and go from there. But actually, it doesn't feel that heavy today. I'm thinking actually a lot of the weight from the other day was just that friction in the mud, hauling it out of those holes. Because it's actually sliding really relatively easy with very little effort. So we'll see how it goes when we get some on the trailer and go from there. So, thanks. All right, so let's see. I got the chicken coop halfway up on top of the snowmobile trailer, and the tires were squatting, and there was one critical measurement that neither Rob nor I seem to have taken beforehand, and that was measuring the total length. Because of those skids we put on, it extended everything by a foot and a half or so, and it left about good solid 2 feet of the coop itself overhanging the trailer, and the balance was just horrible. And not to mention the leaf springs were really just starting to squat pretty hard, and they're incredibly pitted and thin and rusty. Like I said, we just picked that snowmobile trailer up this past winter, so it's the first time that we used it. So it wasn't an issue. So to get it all the way, so to get the coop on top of the trailer, I would have had to have taken that front nose cone off, which I started to do. The bolt snapped. I don't have my grinder. We're out in the woods, so I'd have to take the coop off the trailer anyway to take it back to get that off, so that I could at least get it to balance. Even the springs were questionable, and it's one thing when the trailer is sitting in a static position, but when you start going down the road hitting these potholes, our dirt roads, the end of it's horrible. The potential for a snap in a leaf spring in the middle of the road with that heavy ass coop, and not having one around, plus the weight on the truck, on the brakes, because we don't have electric brakes on that trailer. So I called around to see if U-Haul would have a trailer. Their width, outer dimensions, were just too small by like an inch and a half, so the skids would have sat improperly. And then started pondering about a flatbed. Called some guys up the road. I said, "Yep, about $100," and we're on our way. So now I'm chilling out at the end of the driveway, waiting for these guys to show up, and we'll probably be done in half an hour. So I could have just called them first thing this morning, and they could have yarded onto it, and they have a flatbed that'll tilt, and they have a nice winch that'll pull it up on, straighten out, drive to the farm, and drive away. So I'm all for trying to save money, save time. I actually thought that it would work, but obviously I invested 6-7 hours into my education, and then an additional $100, and now I know. In hindsight, I guess we probably should have just done the beginning, dumped $100, and we could have spent the whole afternoon fishing. That totally would have been worth it. But oh well, at least we should only have to do this once, theoretically, until somebody calls up and needs a hand moving their coop. So that's it. So once we get unloaded, we'll give you a heads up and go from there. Thanks. Well, just like that, the coop is here. $100, less than an hour, and it's done. Should have just called this morning. So I suppose, moral of the story, don't waste time screwing around with somebody else specialized in a job can do it for you cheaper and faster. I guess. Anyway, coop's here. Now we gotta find a place to put it. We're not gonna leave it in this spot. Plans on getting the whole thing wrapped in metal. Maybe I'll just point it towards the coop. Get the whole thing wrapped in metal. Keep that OSB from rotting out. Open it up. Place is a mess. Gotta fix the roost poles, nest boxes, clean up the old bed, and fix the ventilation. You can see here, I built this a while ago. And you can see the peeling on the shingles. That's just a poor ventilation. And in an effort to try to increase ventilation, I thought that small ridge vent would be enough. Then we added these little baffle ridge vents. It just wasn't enough. You can see down here at the soffits, there's just a couple little vents. It's not enough. So, whenever Nate decides he wants to start learning some carpentry and roofing, we'll fix all that stuff and get the chicks moved in, give them a new home, get them out of my trailer. So that's done. All right, on to other projects. See you guys.